Hey there, everyone. Um, I wanted to share something a little unexpected because I just saw a movie, and for whatever reason, my brain was seeing so many connections between it and uh, our experiences in the classroom, or my experience in the classroom. And the movie was The Wild Robot, that was directed by Chris Sanders. He's the director of movies like Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, and whatnot. Um, this movie, which was voiced in the robot, particularly was voiced by Lupita, was amazing. It's a movie. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen it, you're gonna want to pause right now, catch this after you've seen it, so I don't ruin anything for you. But it's a movie about um, a robot teaching a gosling how to survive in the wild. And you might be wondering, like, how does that relate to teaching in the classroom? So, for me, the connections that I got, particularly as a black man, thinking about the black and brown boys that are in front of me in the education system. So the wild robot is this robot. It's dropped into this unknown environment. It doesn't have any answers, but it stumbles upon this little gosling and then it finds purpose. Its job is to teach this gosling how to survive, specifically how to eat, swim, and eventually fly. And watching this unfold made me think about our roles as educators and as teachers, and my role as a teacher, particularly as a black man, in navigating environments that can be unpredictable and sometimes even hostile to our black and brown boys. And this robot immediately assumed that it knew what was best for the gosling. And it led with curiosity. And he was figuring things out as it went along. It was always adapting to what this little gosling duck needed. It was awesome. And then it made me think of me as a teacher, as an educator, how I need to do the same thing and how our kiddos are being disciplined in the classroom because they're merely misunderstood. They might act up, they might act out, but might also be silent. And so instead of reacting in a way that sort of reinforces these negative stereotypes or these all this harsh discipline on them, pause, breathe, lead with some curiosity, and allow that curiosity to truly understand the why behind their behaviors, why they do certain things, why they don't do certain things, why they say things at particular times. I don't know about you, but skippity Ohio, whatever is coming out of our kids' mouths. Like, what and why are they saying these things? And so, what's this kiddo trying to communicate? What's happening in their world that maybe I'm not seeing as an educator? Maybe I'm not understanding why homework's not being done because they're juggling these responsibilities at home. They got sports, they got this, they got that. Maybe that burst of energy in the class is just a response to being misunderstood or feeling out of place. For me, I can totally understand that. I was a kiddo who, I guess by all definitions, would one be described as a class clown, but as I look back and reflect, it's because I was because an unmet need was looking for that need to be met. And now me being on the other side of that, as an educator, I don't want to continue that story of like, oh, this is a problem child, but I want to shift the narrative and create an environment where my kids, my students, my kiddos will be able to thrive. And in the movie, there's this character called Bright Bill who, yeah, he's a little runt of a goose. And he's not accepted by others, by the other geese, because he got small wings. He's underestimated. But again, with the help of the robot, he finds his strength, flies, he soars. This just resonated with me so much. And again, having Lupita be the voice of the robot was phenomenal for me. So I've been an educator for a long time, 17 going now on 18 years. And I know that when you lead with curiosity and you lead with patience and you see the potential and you breathe that life into your kiddos, instead of focusing on the perceived deficits, you're going to create a lasting impact. And that's exactly what happened in this movie, where the robot poured so much into the Gosling. The Gosling lashed out, and the robot felt, and I use that word felt because Peter did such a great job interacting that, yeah, there were a couple moments I was like, golly, this animated movie is making me feel all the feels that as a teacher, our lessons are not just about mastering math or science or technology, but it's about giving our students what they need in order to recognize the strengths in themselves. A scene where Bright Bill is being told, like, look, we're going to have this migration. You got to get your strength up. And he starts, another goose tells Roz, the robot, like, look, you got to get him to be flying all day, every day, from sunup to sundown. Like, don't let his feet touch the ground. And you see the montage of him flying throughout the day. And then there's one scene where he grabs a rock in order to fly with this additional weight in order to strengthen himself, so that what was being deemed a weakness, he's like, no, I'm just going to have to try a little bit harder. Whatever was a weakness, I'm going to fix it. It's exactly what he did. And like that relationship between Roz the robot and Bright Bill in this safe space, not just physically, but emotionally for him, that, yeah, it hit me that as an educator, that's what I want. I want to create a safe space for my kiddos that when they leave my classroom after that academic year, they're going to know that, hey, this is a safe space that I can come back to, that what is perceived by the outside world as a deficit, a weakness, something that I'm not great at, that they are going to know, like, nah, here, you're good. You're good, kid. You're good. And particularly for our Black and brown boys, where a lot of trauma is being experienced, that I want to ensure that, oh, here you're good. Here you're safe. Here, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it, you can come back. You can migrate to where you want to get to, but always know, trust, and believe that you can come back. That it's not just about the math. For so long, it's not about just the math. It's not just the science. It's not just the curriculum, but it's you as the kid or the individual, the person is what matters most. And as a teacher, that's the rewarding part. To see so many students reach back, to see so many students who, yeah, are parents themselves who are like, Mr. Pierre, I would love for my kid to be in your class. You were that safe space for me, is so rewarding. And for me, the wild robot remind me of that teaching is hard, just like parenting is hard, but teaching your students how to navigate the world, a world that won't always be kind, a world where they might be overlooked or underestimated. But if we can teach them and show them that their weaknesses and become their strengths, that we can just lead with a bit more curiosity, then we'll be all right. Yeah, I didn't expect a movie to hit me the way that it did, but it definitely did. So to any educator who's out there, I hope that you give your kids some grace, show your kids some grace, allow them to grow. And if you do that, not only will they learn from you, but they will come back. And when they do, you'll know that you made a lasting difference. So thank you very much for listening to my rant, if you will, about the wild robot. I would highly recommend seeing this movie. And I'd love, once you've seen it, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the movie. What were other lessons that you've learned from unexpected places that have influenced your teaching? Let me know in the comments or leave me a voice note. And if you enjoyed this particular episode, this podcast, please hit the subscribe button, share with others. I'm Mr. Pierre, and I'm out.